Alright guys, so today in this video I'll show you how you can create cards in a grid layout with pure CSS in ReactJS. So let's get started. Cool. Okay, so we are going to create this layout. This is a grid layout as you can see, and it has all these cards inside it. And when you hover over these cards, you see this cool animation, this cool hover animation. And I have created this layout without any kind of CSS library. It's just pure CSS and React.js. So without wasting any time guys, let's get started. Okay, so let's start with creating a React tab. So I'm going to open my terminal in this particular directory, and I'm going to type create React app. So create React app, and the name of this app is going to be card hover animation. Okay, cool. So what this will do is this will create a React tab for me in this particular directory. So this will this will take some time. So I'm going to pause the video here, and after this process is finished, I'm going to come back. All right. Okay, so now our app is now created, and I've noticed that I actually spelled this animation wrong. So that's why I tried to switch over the directory, but I couldn't. But well, we cannot do anything about it, but it won't affect our project, so just go through it. So I'm going to go to the app directory. I'm going to say cd card anime RION, I guess. Well, what the hell I did just. Okay, so now let's open up VS Code in it. So I'm going to say code dot, and this should open up my VS Code inside this folder. I'm going to close all these windows, and let's see. Okay, cool. So now as you can see, I've opened my VS Code inside that app directory, and you got the project files here. So let's just do some cleanup. So I'm going to open my src directory, and I'm going to clean some files like this app.css file. So I'm going to delete this file. I'm going to select this file first, this file as well, not this one, this file, this one, this logo file, these test files, and I'm going to hit delete. Okay, cool. So move them to trash, and I'm going to go to my app file, and I'm going to delete this header. So this is just some basic cleaning that everyone do when they start this when they first start building a React app. I'm just doing that, just deleting some junk files, I guess you can say that, right? So yeah, so now this is clean, this is looking pretty clean. So if I open a new terminal, I'm going to open my terminal, and I'm going to start the app. So I'm going to say npm start. So this should start my app on localhost 3000. Okay, so the server is started. Let's look this into the browser. As you can see, this is a clear page, a little clean page. You can see that there's nothing inside it. So let's start building the app. Okay, so let's start with a making a container component. So inside my src folder, I'm going to create a new file called container. So conta, what the hell is going on? Conta. And inside this container.js, I'm going to create a React functional component. So I'm going to say rfce rfce. This will create a functional component, and in this div I'm going to give this div a class name of grid, and that's it for now for this container. Go back to our app class. I'm going to import this container, so I'm going to say import container from dot slash container. Okay, and let's create a card component as well. So I'm going to create a card component. I'm going to say card dot js, and again I'm going to create a react functional component. So I'm going to say rfce, and I'm going to import this component as well. So I'm just going to copy this. Just going to copy this line and paste it like here, and I'm going to select this, and I'm going to change the name. So the name is going to be card, so card, that's it. And I'm going to import this card. I have imported this card. Let's just build the card. So well, card, then I'm going to create a css file as well. I'm going to create a css file which will be called card.css. Actually the card C is going to be small, not capital. Okay, and I'm going to import this card.css file inside my card component. I'm going to say import dot slash card.css, and I'm going to, okay, so now this is imported. Now let's just make a card. So inside my card.css file I'm going to target the div. Okay, first of all, in this card component I'm going to name this div card. So I'm going to give it a class name of card, so card, and in my card.css file I'm going to, okay, so I'm going to target this card class inside my card.css file. So I'm going to say dot card, and I'm going to give this card a background color first so that I can see it clearly. Give it a width of VW means view height, width, so I'm going to give it a height of 30 VH means view height. Okay, and yeah, I think that would be enough for now. Okay, we haven't got any kind of error. Let's see in the browser. I'm going to refresh it. Okay, so we cannot see any card because I haven't put any card in it. So let's put a card first of all. So you see this card component is ready, but in the app class I haven't put up the card. So let's put a card here. So card, this is going to be a self-closing card, and yeah, so you see we have the card. So okay, so the card is ready for now, and we will do the further styling of this card later. First of all, let's create the component, the container. Okay, so the container component is ready, but we need to create the container.css file. So first of all, I'm going to create a container.css file. So I'm going to name this con. So let's name this container.css, and inside my container component I'm going to import this file. So I'm going to say import dot slash ta dot css, just like this, Okay, and I'm in the container class, I'm going to target the main div, which is the grid. You see the class name of grid. I'm going to target this class, so I'm going to say dot grid, and in this grid class I'm going to say display grid, and let's say let's define grid template columns, and which are going to be, I'm going to use a repeat function here. So you see this function, this is the repeat function. I'm going to say the columns of this grid is the columns are going to be 4 columns, and the width of each column is going to be 15 VW. That's what this is, the height of the card which I've defined in the card component. Okay, so let's do the grid template rows, and the rows are in the rows property. I'm going to do the repeat function. The rows are going to, they are going to be 5 rows, or just say 4 rows of 35 VH, actually 40 VH, because no, 35 is enough, so 35 VH. Okay, let me check the height of the card component, because okay, so this is 30 VH, the height of the card is 30 VH, so let's give the grid template row of 30 VH as well. Okay, cool. So let's save this and look this into inside the browser. I'm going to save this. Okay, so for now you cannot see any kind of difference because there is only one card. Let's make another card. So you just have to copy this card here and just paste it just like this. So there are going to be 2 cards, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so now there are going to be 7 cards. Okay, so you see, so there, I think there, this is happening because there is only one column. So let's see what is wrong. Oh yeah, because we have, okay, because in this app class this is just a card, right? Where is the container? So we created this component, we created this container, but we haven't wrapped it up. So let's okay, so first of all let's wrap these 7 cards inside this container. So I'm going to say this, and I'm going to wrap all of these cards. Let me select them first. So to select all these 7 cards, and I'm going to wrap them into inside this container. I'm going to save the file, and in the card, sorry, the container component, where is it? Okay, so in this container class I'm going to get the children's property of children's, right? I mean, look, these cards are the children of this container component, right? So in the container component I'm going to receive them as props. So first of all I'm going to say pro props, and inside here in this grid component I'm going to, because we are using JSX, we can insert JavaScript within this HTML like syntax. So I'm going to say props, I'm sorry, props dot children, DREN, and okay, so let's see if this works. Okay, so you can see this is working. So for now I think there is no gap between them, and I think this is happening because the rows are okay. Let's see. So now we just have to style the grid. Okay, so the grid, so the display, there is the display grid, the columns. First of all let's make it 5 columns, not 4 columns. Let's look at this, how it's looking. Okay, this is cool. You see, this looks nice, but we need gaps, right? We need gaps between these cards. So I'm going to say gap property, gap, gap is going to be 2 vh, I'm sorry, VH and the 3VW. So if I see, and okay, this is not looking good. Let's give it a lighter background. Okay, this is looking good. Okay, now just have to style the cards. So first of all, in these cards, let's give it a border radius. So border radius border radius radius is going to be 50 pixels. No, not 50, 10 pixels. 10 px, and this should show up. Okay, you see, and so now we just have to do the hover animation, right? So I'm going to give this a transition. So transition, trans, transition of 0.5 seconds as seconds, which is going to be ease. Okay, and I'm going to use the hover animation. I'm going to use the hover pseudo class. So I'm going to say card on hover, increase the width of the oh no, we are going to mess around with the position of the card. So when you hover over it, I'm going to margin top. I'm going to decrease the top margin of the card with the, I don't know, 1 VH. Let's just try. So 1 VH, and margin of the right. So the margin right, I'm going to decrease the margin right with minus 0.5 VW. If I refresh it now, so you see, so this is looking good, right? But this is still not looking pretty nice like this. So what the difference here is, we have the shadow. So you can see the shadow, right? So we just have to give it a shadow as well. So let's give it a box shadow of so the first, so there are going to be positions, right? So I'm going to say, I don't know, 5 pixels and 10 pixels. So the X, I'm going to give it a minus 5 pixels and 10 pixels, and the 20 pixels, the spread radius of the box shadow is going to be 20 pixels. And let's give it a color of black. We can change the color later. Okay, refresh it. So now you see, so this is nice. Because of whitish background, this black shadow is looking good. Not that good. Let's change the color of this shadow. So the color of this shadow is going to be, I don't know, this. No, this. Let's see if this looks nice. Cool. So this looks pretty good. So now that's it for today, guys. I think that's it. We can yeah, we can finish the video here. Or okay, we haven't given this, should give this a width, I mean gap, I'm sorry, padding. Because you see, if you hover over it, this card is getting out of the container. It looks like it's getting out of the container. So for that, we can give this a padding. So in the container.css class, let's just give it a padding. So padding of 1 VH from all directions. So yeah, you see, so the padding is here. This looks pretty good. So now they are looking pretty good. So yeah, that's it for this video, guys. If you like the video, please hit that like button, and if you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel, and until next time, goodbye. Alright guys, so today in this video I'll show you how you can create cards in a grid layout with pure CSS in ReactJS. So let's get started.